I can only say it over and over again. You know, who gives a shit what they say? Ultimately, as somebody said the other day in our chat, and I think they nailed it, if they beat Real Madrid 2-0, it will probably be the biggest result in the history of Arsenal Football Club. The fact that we beat them, and they need to make themselves feel a little bit better about life, because heaven forbid they actually just looked at their own shortcomings and, you know, were in any way genuine with what they were saying. Ultimately, they trip over themselves to be in our position. And they just want to try to convince themselves that they're on a par with us or that they're better than us. And ultimately, that's not shown out on the pitch, is it? Because if we're getting all these teams when they're not at their best, or we've only played this in the league, why aren't they top of the league? You know, because we played Arsenal, remember, at their gaff. And like little bitches, they ran to the corner flag when they were 2-1 up with 15 minutes to go. Cowards. They go to Manchester City and they play for a draw. We beat them off the park. So I don't care what AFTV, Robbie Lyle, or anybody else has to say about Liverpool, because they're all just fucking jealous. And they're worried about us. End of. You should take these things as a compliment, because they're just trying to make themselves feel better about their own shortcomings. You know? When we won the league, they were all cry Arsenal for it to be cancelled. Because heaven forbid we got another one before they did. They'd have to admit their own shortcomings. They didn't. They showed themselves up to be absolute clowns yet again. And here we are, many seasons later, when they're all finished wanking off Manchester City and saying how great they are. Once again, when Liverpool come to the fore, what's happening? Undermining. No credit being given. It's a disgrace. The opinions are bollocks from people that know better, but, you know, so I would say stop watching the crap, because it's not worth your time. It's absolutely shite. And they're just, anybody can say silly shit, like I keep telling you, but it takes genuine people to credit. And you'll always see me credit on Arsenal for the results, because they've done well, they've progressed. But if they can't return the favour or feel the same way, then fuck each and every last one of them. This is the thing that probably winds me up the most about modern culture. Everybody moans about these people, but yet still watches them. Everybody moans about Togden, but still watches them. Everybody moans about Rory Jennings, but still watches them. Everybody moans about AFTV, but still watches them. Here's an idea. Stop giving them the oxygen. Stop watching them. Stop commenting. Stop sharing it. Stop giving their stupidity the time of day. And then we all won't have to be subjected to their stupid ramblings. There you go. I say this because I love you all dearly. And again, it winds you up apparently. It's just because we're in their head. Same way Pep Guardiola and City are going around giving it all the six now. It's because they're rattled. They couldn't beat us. They couldn't do what we've done in Europe. They've never lifted a European Cup at Arsenal. They want to be where we are so badly, and it's everybody else's fault. The ref's fault. It's the manager's fault. It's the PGMOL's fault. It's UEFA's fault. But it's never their fault. It's never because they're not good enough. Copium, somebody said, was the word. There you go. I see, I'm not up at all the modern shit, you know. I just call crap out as I say it. And look, go back and watch me making content 5 years ago. I've never liked AFTV. Never liked that and about them. I think they're an embarrassment to fan content. I've said it over and over and over again. I don't watch it. I don't pay attention to it. I scroll past it if I see it or if somebody sends me a message. It's all just everything I don't like about fan content on that one channel. And I have to follow this up by saying I don't know any of them personally. I don't know Robbie Lyle. I've never had any interaction with them. I've nothing against him as a man. I just don't like what they do. And I think it gives the rest of us a bad name. David Newell said, no one talking about City players and manager gone over to the fans after a defeat. Yet when we did a Klopp first few seasons, it was massively talked about. I think that was even a draw, David, for us, if I remember correctly. I think it was a draw at home and Klopp went over with the players to acknowledge the cop. And you're right, we got absolutely rinsed for it. So look, if I could just give you one little piece of advice, because it's made my life so much better. Don't look at this shit. Don't let them wind you up. Don't let them get in your head, because we know one thing about content and social media. Anger derision and emotion drives clicks, drives content, drives money into these people's pockets. So if you don't like it and it winds you up, well, you've got a way of stopping it, which is don't watch it, don't click on it, don't share it, don't give them the time of day, and then you don't have to listen to it. And that's why my life's been so much better since I moved off Twitter or Twitter. So much easier, man. I'm so less angry. Have you seen Sky trying to pile the pressure on us, saying no team has won the league this far after 13 games? Do you know what gets me, David, about Sky? And I've noticed this so many times. They keep talking about 11 points. Have you noticed this? When they're talking about us and the position we're in the league, they look at it and they always talk about 11 points differential. We're 9 points. Let's get this shit very clear. Yes, we're 11 points ahead of Man City, but they're 5th. We're 9 points ahead of Arsenal and Chelsea. So the conversation, to be honest and fair, should be 9 points. Now look, I'm not setting us up for a failure, but they are. And that's all that 11-point crap is about. Because just in case then we do fall back a little bit, then all of a sudden you bottled an 11-point lead. No, we didn't. You just want us to do that. Benjamin said, I've seen people super chat AFTV them to argue with them. Then they don't have any right to moan about them, mate, in my eyes. You know? Here's something that might surprise you. I don't watch stuff I don't like. Ricky Gervais has a great kind of bit about all of this where he's like, if you were walking around the city centre and you've seen a little flyer that has, you know, the little pieces of paper ripped at the bottom with a phone number that's offering guitar lessons, you wouldn't pull off the piece of paper, pick up the phone and ring them and shout with them telling them you don't want guitar lessons, would you? That's what we do in the real world, though. You know, we see this stuff that we don't like and then we talk about it and we moan about it and it gets in our head and it makes us angry. Just step away from it, because you're allowing them to exist by giving them this oxygen.